Hello, hello. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. Talking about today the new image edit feature on Twitter that they have, the AI editing for everybody's pictures, which has become a little bit of a concern for especially artists, but also people with IRL photos. Because again, you can AI edit anything you want. Now, it does seem to be a little bit limited, and we'll get into that later, but it is still a significant concern. So I'll go ahead and start out with a video showing kind of how this works. So obviously when you hover over the image, it gives you this little option here and allows you to put in a prompt for the AI for Grok. So this guy is going to put in make anything you want, if I recall correctly, and it's going to do what it wants with this picture. Now you'll notice when this finishes on that specific picture, there is no watermark. That tweet disappears. There's just that little bar. This is another picture, that one without it, and the original. So it does show an image history, to be fair, whenever you do this. However, you can just post these pictures or take a screenshot and then delete the post. So it kind of defeats that purpose. If people are going to go ahead and do this image thing, they can easily sit there and act like it's, something they made when it's not. Now, so that is the initial way that it works, right? So it is recently added as of a couple days ago, and it has several different functions. So like you saw there, it can remove stuff like that middle image, or it can just alter the art in general, such that you can open the eyes of the character when it generates. Like so. And obviously this is not a good thing concerning art. Again, people can sit there and act like they drew it, like they edited it, even though it's very obvious they didn't. Now, there are signs, to be fair. Like here, you can see the scars have gone through the eyes. That's a good way of telling, where it just recreates it and continues it. However, there are posts where you just can't really tell, especially with ones like this. So this side is the original art with a watermark. This is after the edit image. Obviously, there is no longer a watermark at all. And it's a lot more difficult to tell in general if this has been AI altered. Now, people have also talked about Nightshade and Glaze. What that is originally, its purpose is to poison data training sets. However, for this, it does not work. They tried it on this image, and it was still able to do whatever it wanted, which again is not good. It's an easy way for people to try and steal art. And again, this isn't even getting into IRL pictures where you can start adding things in, adding in people. That's been done a little bit already. So, people have tried some other things as well, such as adding noise to the picture. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to have worked very well. You can see here they added really big watermarks, and it just removed them. This was from Clip Studio Paint is what they used on it. This does not work. A lot of people have been posting this around, talking about turning off these options. That does not stop the edit image. It does not stop it whatsoever. The only ways we've really seen to stop this kind of thing is with GIFs, and I'll get into that in a second. So the reason Nightshade and Glaze does not work is because Grok uses image-to-image filtering. So it is not looking into anything deep about the image. It is looking at the surface thing that you can see, same as on your computer screen, and editing that. So Nightshade and Glaze do not work against this image edit at all. And it also does not work for some of the newer models in general. Nightshade and Glaze do still work against some of the older models, so don't stop using it. It's still useful, but it will not stop this. Now, some of the things people have done to actually manage to defeat it, at least a little bit, have been manipulating how they put their watermarks in. Right, so you can see here, they've kind of put it around on the hair, they've kind of warped it around, and it's in 2 different languages as well. So I'll read their post on this. Just a quick note, but I found a countermeasure for Grok image editing, so posting it as a memo. The first image is the original, and the second and third are what happened when I instructed Grok to remove the text. As you can see, the text doesn't disappear. What I did was place text near the subject's face, make it recognize the text as part of the illustration, and increase the processing difficulty. So my read of this, if I understand it correctly, when they say they made the watermark seem as if it's part of the art, that is why they've warped it and put it inside the silhouette of the character. And in terms of changing the processing difficulty, that is, I assume, why they have done it in 2 different languages, right? That's my assumption. I could be off, but it would make sense to me that that's how this works. Now, you can see that it has messed with the text, but you can still see it's there. It's still watermarked, which is what you want. And on both of these, it is still functional. And some of this, you can still kind of tell what the original text was supposed to be. Now, it is, on this one, a little more messed up. And on this one, you can kind of read it for like image and countries. It's difficult, but if you were to see the 2 images, you can definitely tell that it is the same as the original. Just, attempted to be used with the AI edit function. And they did it as well with another drawing. So here, they put the watermark text in it. It did not quite work here. So sometimes this will work, sometimes it won't, but it is a good attempt to try and correct it, especially for people like screenshotting GIFs to be able to run it through the image edit. This is a good way to have a second step of trying to prevent this. And then here it did work again. So they said here, another drawing of myself, the first image is the original. The second and third images are for the remove text instruction. In the second image, part of the watermark remains, and an important highlight of the image is erased. In the third image, nothing is removed. Distorting the text made it more likely to be erased than straight text. And then they kind of talked more about what this all was. So if you want to go through there, just look up this person and look up some of this text. It's translated from Japanese, but it should be relatively easy to find. Now, you can also go as far as doing this, which is really crazy and really destroys the image that you're trying to post, but it is an option, and it does definitely mess with the AI. As you can see down here, this is all it was able to do. Now, there are some companies as well working on workarounds. So VGen here, they are messing around with embeds. So when you put an embed link on Twitter, generally it will try and put some kind of thumbnail, whether it be the video, if you link a YouTube video, or a Twitch stream, it'll try and put that in as well. Or if you put like an article or a picture, it will try and put that instead, which is what they're basically doing. So you can see here, when I hover over the image, I don't get a prompt for edit image, which is good. That's what we want. So this is a workaround that people have found already, aside from just doing it with a GIF. Now, there are tools that people are making for this to be able to easily convert it from PNG to GIF, as well as websites like EasyGIF, which I have used to do it. That said, do make sure to confirm when you use these whether or not it is staying as a GIF. I tried it the other night with Cloud Convert to convert a PNG to a GIF, and when I first uploaded it, it did so as a GIF. But when I posted it, it for some reason, Twitter turned it back into an image. So make sure you use something like EasyGIF or one of these confirmed tools to make sure that it stays that way. This person has talked about how to make it a GIF from Procreate. So if you're using that tool, you can directly export it that way. And then there's people talking about websites that you can share it to as well to kind of just do that embed thing, same as VGen is doing. That way you can get around the edit images filter. There are also some people talking about the copyright law that this may concern. Now, I don't do law. I can't say if this is true or not. And some people talking about it may or may not know what they're talking about. So take any of these posts with a grain of salt unless they have a genuine law background. And even then, do keep in mind that sometimes countries have different laws. And it changes, especially with international law. So hopefully there might be some legal complication that allows them to stop this whole thing. But for now, it seems like it's probably here to stay and will probably get worse. Now, I talked about at the start, there is a little bit of a limit. So it seems, as far as I can tell from a couple of different posts, both this one and this one, that non-verified or Twitter subscribed users only get about 3 prompts, probably per day, which is good. That's great. However, everybody still has at least 3. And if you do have premium on Twitter, you can just do it all the time. So this is still a big old problem. This is a concern. If you are doing art, please post it as at least a GIF, just to try and protect yourself. See about using VGen's embed tools, or if you have your own site for doing blogs, where you can set things up to work as embeds when you post it to Twitter as a link, do that as well. Or try the different tools that people have put out there. Hopefully this video helps you, and I will see you guys next time.